Thank you for browsing page 121. Today we're going to do something a little different, I guess. We're going to unbox the Alternity beginner's set. The adventure begins now. This guy was out in around 1998 or so, and I picked it up at a comic store nearby, Amazing Fantasy, a great comic store in New Lenox, Illinois. I picked it up there for $2.50 on closeout. I bought this around 2000, 2001, so I've had it for about 25 years. And it's still sealed. And no, this hasn't been packed away in some box or something. It's been right on my shelf. And I was waiting for the moment to unseal it, and that moment is today. So today we're going to take a look at the contents of the Alternity science fiction adventure game beginner's box set from WOTC from about 1998 or so. I think I said 97 earlier, about 1998, thereabouts. Today on page 121. All right, a little background on Alternity before I turn to this guy. It was a game that WOTC put out, or TSR I think actually was the one that started it, around the time WOTC purchased TSR. And it was an alternative basically to Traveller. If you had been playing Traveller, which I was, the 90s were a turbulent time to be a Traveller fan. We had Traveller the New Era going on, we had Game Designers Workshop closing, and then we had Mark Miller's Traveller T4 for a little while, and then we had GURPS Traveller, all of which were interesting, and it was a fun time to be a Traveller player, but also a bit challenging. But Traveller had lost some interest and some market share, I feel. I don't have any numbers to back that up, but it's just how I felt at the time. So all of a sudden we saw Alternity, which was a science fiction adventure game. I had been a big fan of Star Frontiers, so I kind of jumped on the Alternity bandwagon. I have almost all the product that they put out, and I played a lot of Alternity. But all that being said, I have not played Alternity in well over 20 years. So here we have a look at the back, and this guy retailed for $9.99. I bought it for $2.50 on closeout around 2000 or 2001 from Amazing Fantasy, an amazing comic store in the area. So I've had this on my shelf, and I've just been kind of leaving it. I had no real reason to open it, and I thought, well, you know what? I'll open it in the channel. This will be my first Alternity video. After this video, if you want to see more Alternity, go ahead and leave comments that you're interested, and I can crack out my old stuff and refresh myself in the system. This is under the Wizards imprint. So this is during kind of the transition between Wizards and TSR. So this was actually published by Wizards. Come on. All right, here we go. A little struggle to get this guy started. Holy cow. This plastic does not want to come off after 25 years. There we go. Should have used a knife instead of the scissors. But oh well. For the love of crying out loud. There we go. Well, it took a lot to get that plastic off. Alright, let me adjust the camera again, as I bumped it. The scissors out of the shot. Kind of made a mess of things getting this guy unwrapped. But there you go, there's the box itself. Now we'll lift it up. I have never seen the insides of this before. There we go. Decent box, a little thin. But then that's what they were doing at the time. Oh, got a little TSR dice bag in here. I did not realize that. That's kind of cool. And of course some dice to play the game. So, the dice bag may find its way onto my regular table. Did not know that was in there. And it's a relic now since it's TSR. And this was published in 1999. So you read this first. What is the Alternity game? Alternity had some nice elements to it. They had interesting alien races. It was just not a bad rule set. I played it quite a bit between 97, 98, and 2000. And I might have even played it a little. I think it came out in 98, actually. I played it in 2000, or up through 2000, and probably into 01. But then I went back to Traveller. I used to play this a lot at that old hobby store, 3D House of Games, that I used to hang out at. But here we have the Alternity adventure game rules book. Here, we're going to pull all this stuff out. We're going to look at it individually. I'm already pleasantly surprised by, here's the bottom of the box, by having a TSR dice bag. I didn't know it was in there. So here we have the rules book. We have the adventures book. We have some characters. And we have a ship. That's everything you need to start, which is the point. Okay, let's take a look at the rules book first. So, going into the Alternity rules, I remember these being kind of complicated. There were dice that overrode other dice and worked with other dice. You would throw a couple of dice for initiative, I remember. Now, if I seem fuzzy on the rules, it's because I am. I haven't played this game in 25 years, nor did I review any stuff really about the game before this video. I wanted it all to be kind of new and fresh. So here we go. We get an overview. They're winning. Do you win? You don't win in this game. It's a role-playing game. And who designed this guy? Bill Slavacek. Slavacek. With William W. Connors and Sean K. Reynolds. Richard Baker did additional design. Some good stuff in here. So you have situation dice. I remember that. Basically, the die would vary with the task. Unlike 2-dice-6 RPGs where it's always 2-dice-6, this would actually change the dice. And then we have a little skirmish scenario to get used to the rules combat. And we have a practice combat. Running the adventure. Skill checks. So pretty standard stuff if you're into any of the 2-dice-6 role-playing games out there. This, of course, is not 2-dice-6, it's multiple dice, but it's pretty standard fare, which is what drew me to it. I was sad that GDW had closed its doors. I believe they closed in 96, and I was a little sad about that. Mark Miller's Traveler was not the tour de force I had hoped it would be, and then GURPS Traveler was along right about the same time as Alternity, and I enjoyed GURPS Traveler a great deal. I still think some of the supplements are some of the best that were ever put out for Traveler, but I was excited about something other and a living, breathing game, which is what Alternity was. Alternity did not live or breathe for long. It went from 98 to about 2000, maybe an odd offering in 2001. I know the Gamma World Alternity book came out in 2000. So here we have aliens, monsters, yes! Gotta like it. The old TSR, WOTC way of depicting things. This is just neat to see this stuff again. I haven't seen this before, but just to go back to this artwork. Artwork is very reminiscent of 80s or 90s TSR, especially if you have followed any of the Planescape stuff. Very similar to that. We're going to take a look at the adventure book now. Pretty good gloss paper. I like it. And we have a look at our ship, the Lancelot, and Surge Soldiers, whatever that is, escaped from BXT-13. So, pretty interesting adventure there. The Mine of Misfortune is our second adventure. Gotta like a starter set that's giving you a couple of adventures instead of just one or two one-page ones. I like that they're giving a pretty major adventures here. This would have been a real good way to start out. I started out with the hardcover book and all that other stuff and just read through it. And then we have Adventure 3, Space Invasion. And that's it, 32-page adventure book. Then we take a look at Azor Jans. He may not be the brightest guy in the Concord Security Division, but he's one of the toughest. And there's all his stats. And this is all copyright 1999. So these are just a bunch of NPCs. This pulls apart, it's not stapled. So you can just pull these guys out and use them as you want. That's kind of neat. Very 90s looking artwork, but that's okay. That's when this was out, and that's what I kind of enjoy. There we go. And now we're going to see the back half of all those sheets. It's an interesting way to do it. I don't remember encountering this before, where it's a booklet where each page just pulls out. That's a clever idea. And we are done with that. And the last we have is look at our starship, the Lancelot. I like the top-down map depiction. There's all our Oh, this is the Game Master screen. Oh, that's cool. So they've got a small Game Master screen. This game actually had a Game Master screen, a bigger one. I have it. But that's neat. And the outside is the ship that you're in. So that's pretty cool. A little stand-up GM screen. That's pretty cool. Everything you would need to play the game, which is, of course, what the cover of the box told us. That's pretty exciting. I hadn't looked at this, as you saw. It's something I was saving for a time I was really interested, and at that time just happened to be now. So it includes everything you need to play. So there you have it. That's a quick look at the Alternity science fiction adventure game. The Adventure Begins Now, the starter set from 1999 from TSR/WOTC, and kind of their answer to Traveler. So let me know what you think. Did you play Alternity back in the day? If you did you love it? Did you hate it? I actually remember really liking Alternity, and I ran a few campaigns in it for a couple of years. Again, mostly at that 3D House of Games I used to play at in lovely Mokina, Illinois. But I ran one or two here as part of my house campaign as well. So let me know what you think. If you have any experience with Alternity, if you're interested in seeing more Alternity, and maybe go over the core rules and how the game played, I'll be happy to take a look at all of that. So just leave that in the comments below. But in the meantime, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Tell your friends I'm still growing the channel. And take a look at the Patreon, see if you can help me out there. But that's all I've got today on page 121. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.